Alright, well, hopefully the sound is good and not terrible. The lighting's okay. I'm looking in the viewfinder. First time I've ever had a viewfinder in this at all. That's interesting. Right, so what did I want to talk about? I gotta stop looking in the viewfinder. Even though I've heard people say that, it's the first time I ever had one. Usually it's just my phone. Before it was my phone. This is a new camera. So basically, the question on my own mind is what I was gonna do with this channel. And basically, so I'm in a new room, right? Completely new. You guys see it. It's different than the last two, so that's fine. That's why all my videos on this channel look like they're from 10 different places. Constantly moving, but that's okay. That's life, so that's just what it is. You're gonna have to do that in your life, hopefully. Except the people that stay home, okay? I know a lot of beach bums that I grew up near the beach. I know a lot of beach bums that never left and will never leave, and I gotta stop looking at the viewfinder. I wonder what that's gonna look like in video. The viewfinder versus just looking at the camera. I'll do both for a while. Well, the camera, I'm sure. I think it's just directly. My phone, I could never get it with my phone. So now I got a proper viewfinder and the camera. So, and if the sound is terrible, I'm using this little puffy microphone thing, which I think is just a pop filter on the actual sound the camera has. So hopefully, I'm not gonna edit it or anything. Maybe later, but maybe a different one, not this one. I just don't feel like it. But yeah, so what was I doing the months that I wasn't doing on this channel? Nothing. Traveling, trying to finish school, basically. Failing. Not failing, but barely getting by. I would say failing. Failing to get anything above a 3.0, which I need to go across to do my things I want to do. Well, not things I want to do. I want to go study abroad, but they need a 3.0, so it is what it is. I'm trying to get it. I don't know if that's going to happen this semester. At the end of the semester, I need a 3.0, so hopefully it happens. It probably won't happen. Man, the viewfinder is crazy. I have it on autofocus, so my eye, I think I do too much movement because there's a white box around my eye and it's trying to capture me, but I think it's doing a pretty good job. 60 FPS. I think this is true 60 on my phone. Yeah. So what am I doing with this channel? Is what I ask myself. Why did I turn on this camera? All very good questions. So yes, I'm in a new place. No, here's a real thought, right? I was thinking this because, my videos get I don't know, nothing views, not really anything crazy, nothing, close to zero. Why am I doing this, right? Why the video? Why? It's mostly just to self-document and to look back at where I was years later. Nothing more than that. That's basically it. That's why no one does anything. That's why there are all these YouTube channels. You're like, why do people do this? They get no views, blah, blah, blah. It's just self-documentation. Same people do Instagram. Most people have less than, I forgot the number. It was less than 1,000. Most Instagram users have less than 1,000 followers or something ridiculously small that you're like, that's insane. Even if I just went to 1,000 people and went follow every single day, it's a good idea actually, now that I'm thinking about it. You go on Instagram, you press follow everybody, and then, you just don't follow all. Maybe people do that. Maybe I'm not unique in that. You just unfollow them after. And you just hope they forget to unfollow you. So I don't know how that would work. I'll look in here now. So I don't know how that would work, but, I guess that could work. Is that how people get followed? They just follow. The point is, a lot of people ask why when they see a video with no views. Why are you doing it? It's just self-documentation. And if it gets popular, you start getting that revenue, then it is what it is. You take the revenue and run, But other than that, so that's number one. That's a question I had just to myself, why? Number two, why the new camera? Again, just for better resolution of self-documentation, but also this camera takes really good pictures, and I like taking pictures. I used to have, well, I still have, I just don't use it anymore now that I have this, a Pentax K100 physical photo. Hold on. This thing. Ooh. I used to have this out in another camera that I don't have now. It's at my parents' house. This. So I went from what I have now, from this to what I have now, and which is a Sony. What's the box say? Sony. ZV-E10, right? So I went from this, the physical pictures, Good job. So there's no film in here. The physical pictures. I might actually switch this to this camera, but now I have digital, which I always wanted. I do a lot more editing now, like of pictures and stuff like that. Oh, the light is slowly going away. But I do a lot more editing. I just realized I was like, what I really need is a digital camera. So why the camera? And so those are two questions, right? Why the camera? Why the new camera? And why document at all? So the third, I would say, is what I've been doing, right? Basically, been all over the world. Been traveling. Went to Amsterdam. Went to UK. Went to France. So that took up pretty much my whole summer. Amsterdam was crazy. I wish I had this camera when I was there. God, wow. I'd be taking a lot more. That'd been great. You always get something good after the fact. You're like, God, I could use this then, But it is what it is. So that took up my whole summer. And then after that, I basically was just contemplating whether or not I was going to actually go back to school or not. That took up my time, most of my time. So after I decided that I was going to come back, little did I know how hard it was going to be. Now I'm in upper division classes, which apparently are all 3 hours. No one told me that. No one told me I get to a point in school where each one of my classes is an hour and a half, 2.5 hours, so whatever. Not whatever, it sucks, but I'll be real with you. Other than that, what am I doing? I don't know. That's a question, unfortunately, we all have to ask and be honest with ourselves. What are we doing? What is the goal? To finish school, I guess, get a degree. Other than that, I don't know. I wanted to go to Yosemite, but my brother flaked on me, unfortunately. He flaked on me. He didn't want to. But what am I doing here? So what is the real point of this video? And I'll tell you this, I'll get to it. It's basically, does it tell you how long you've been shooting for? Is there a shooting thing? 8 minutes. Wait, is that the counter? Yeah, I think that's the counter. Okay, yeah, cool. I've never even, I took 2 videos before this and didn't even look at the counter. So, okay, cool. That is nice. My phone would run out of battery and this and that, and it would be like the autofocus was terrible. Finally, a real camera where I have a real camera where I could just sit back, turn it on, turn the viewfinder towards me, boom, and it works, and it's good, and you can tell it's a luxury. When you've been messing with your phone for as long as I have, tried to take videos, it's a luxury having a camera and I bought a thing to hold it with, So I might vlog. What would I vlog about? I don't know. I have nothing to vlog about. So the question is, what am I doing? Now, if I would say the answer is just thinking about my future. But more actively, what am I doing? I don't know. I think that's the whole thing. I don't know. But here's the thing. I may not know what I'm doing, but how many times have I gotten back up from not knowing or trying to do something? I guess that would be the ISO is going crazy. Sorry, I keep this camera's being weird. I've never seen a camera like that before. So everything's moving. The frames, not the frames, but the ISO is moving. The f-stop is moving. The wave recording is on or something. Whatever it is. What am I doing with this? I don't know, but it's basically how many times can you get back up from a deep, just like not wanting to finish or continue the goal you had in your mind because maybe you've been disillusioned in some way, right? I'll tell you that in the music business, which is the only business I've even been close to, technically I've made money off music. That's right, I'm an artist. I've made money off my music. I can say that forever. A lot of people cannot. But it is what it is. Some people don't care. Some people want to make money off movies, it's what it is. But let's say you're in one of these artistic spaces, right? And you've been going at it. Let's say you're like mid to late 20s, right? And you're like, nothing's really like going. You know what I mean? Nothing's really like going. And you feel disillusioned and you feel sad, right? Again, this is between 25 and I would say early 20s, like before 30 basically, right? And you're thinking to yourself, wow, nothing's really going. We're not making moves like I see other people doing, right? And now how many times have we heard, don't compare yourself to people, it's not good. And that's true, it's really not. Now, the thing about it is, everyone still feels this way no matter what. You could say all day, don't compare yourself to other people, but we're all people. It is what it is. You do that sometimes. Sometimes there's someone on Instagram who you actually know. A lot of these people you don't even know. You're looking at social media. You're comparing people to you don't even know their life. Like, you don't even know them. It's one thing to know a person that's doing better than you, but to compare people on you don't even know. It's like, what are we doing? You don't even know these people. You have no idea what their lives are like. But occasionally, you do get into a situation where you think to yourself, I could be doing what he's doing, but he got lucky and I didn't. Or he put in more, or whatever. Whatever happened in his career, he's there and I'm here, right? What I've actually been thinking that is a better way of thinking about that is more the sheer amount of people who are trying to do what you're doing, your artistic space. Trust me, whatever it is, there are a lot of people doing it. Think in your mind, count in your mind how many people in your artistic space you're thinking about when you feel down, right? And this is what I mean. Let's say that you're comparing, right? Photographer. Let's say photographer. You're a photographer. You look on Instagram and you got someone. I'm not even talking about big. I'm talking about someone with like 20,000 followers, which is huge for someone who has like close to none, or a few hundred, right? But you're looking at it, you're like, they're taking the same photos I'm taking. They're doing the same thing. They're going to the same place. You guys may even be in the same city. New York has a ton of street photographers crossing paths each day. They don't even know, there's so many that even people that think that they're in the space and up on this street photographer find a new one on Instagram who they probably have passed by, in real life, right? Think how many people you're actually thinking about, right? Okay, he's got more followers than me. He's doing this. He's doing that. You're thinking about him and you're thinking about you. Think of the millions of people who take photos and post on Instagram all the time. It makes it seem a lot smaller, right? It makes it seem a lot, almost like it doesn't even matter. It really doesn't. The only time that stuff starts to matter in like social media and stuff is when you start making money. When you start making money on anything, that's when it starts to like really, really matter. That's why I hate money. Hating money is a different subject, though. I've gone through my whole life hating the dollar, the green. Where's my wallet, actually? Let me see. See, you got this, which is terrible and leads people to do terrible things. I mean, the symbol of overconsumption, everything. But then you also have this. Like I said, I've been traveling this year. I have more money, actually. I thought this was a 20, but it's not. It's a 5 euro. Is that focusing? Let's see if I can have it focus. There you go. It focused for a second. So then you have that, right? Which is also a symbol. By the way, I didn't say it's just a symbol. It's the same symbol of greed and stuff, just for people on the other side of the pond, you know. The point is, I hate money, right? But that's the driving force behind it. The only reason you think, oh, someone's doing better than me is because you, in your head, are thinking they're making more money than you off of the same thing you want to be doing. You know what I'm saying? It's the driving force. Because think about it this way. If you knew someone was getting more money than you, right? Or you just assumed they were by the amount of followers they had, you'd be like, oh man, we're doing the same thing. Hey, why are they getting so much money than me? They're making money. Even if you don't say it to yourself, in the back of your head, that's the whole thing. They're making a living off of what I want to do, and I'm not. Now, imagine in your head, right, well, all these people, right, all these people taking photos, right? You're thinking about someone, and in the back of your head, you're thinking they're making money, they're successful off of something I want to do, and I wish I was doing what they're doing. I wish I had ads, this and that, and this and that. They are so extremely lucky to be doing that and to be making it, because there are so many people doing the same thing you're doing. That's why I think you really need to expand your, really think about the sheer amount of people. You're thinking about this person because they're successful, when in reality, you got to realize that they are extremely lucky. That's what no one wants to say, especially when it comes to making money in America and stuff like that. No one wants to say, these are extremely lucky, right? Extremely lucky. And to even here's what's the craziest thing about it, is that once you think about this sheer amount of people wanting to do what you're doing in your space, everything you do, every accomplishment you make, every progress, whatever it is, meeting someone new, someone retweets a photo, whatever, someone buys a photo, your first you bought photo, someone you actually paid for a photo, or whatever, however your business is set up, someone actually bought your art for the first time. That is an extremely lucky thing to have happened to you. To make a living off of music or any type of art is extremely lucky. And the people who sometimes you look at and think, I wish I was doing that. I wish I was that successful. I wish I was making that money. Not that you're obsessed with money, it's just the success. Because now, I guess if you're just a person obsessed with popularity, then this is different. I guess that's a different video. I'm primarily talking about money, right? In the back of our head, that's kind of the core thing. Because in the end, even if I had less followers, but I was making money, I wouldn't really care. If I had 10,000, I'm looking at someone with 100,000. If I'm still making a living, I'm not as mad. You get what I'm saying? Because I'm in that space making a living. There are a ton of artists, music artists, there's some I've talked to who are making an okay living. And when they see more successful artists, they don't go, oh my God, I wish, blah, blah, blah. No, they go, okay, everyone in the back of their head is kind of like, of course we all wish we're up there, you know what I mean? But that's everybody. But when an artist sees another successful artist, if you're a normal person, okay, if you're a calm down, if you're a down to earth person, well, you don't think that. You think, okay, cool. Because you've already had success there. You're making a living off of music. So all that to say, the people you're looking at are extremely successful and are 1 in a million, maybe a billion, depending on who you're looking at, right? Every step you take to get closer to that is a step someone else didn't take or didn't happen or something like that. You know what I'm saying? You have to make it, you really have to put yourself on the world stage sometimes to see how lucky you are for even having however many followers you have, for even having the consistency to take pictures and post or just make music. Most people, all they do is think that they want to make music. They don't even put it let alone get followers, let alone get any recognition for anything. There are people who want to do artistic things, are stuck in a job or a place in life where they have no time to do it. No time at all. You know what I mean? No time at all. Number two, let's say they have the time. There are people who are so scared to put anything they like or anything they make that they genuinely like out. Okay, so pat yourself on the back for even putting something you like out there. You know what I mean? Some people never do, and some people are good at it. And I'm not talking about like people. I know producers in school who are like good producers. Never will put anything out. It's not even their major. So, what is this rant about? It's basically, I basically have to, I've realized, yes, this is a travel thing. Okay, bro who just gets back from traveling the world, blah, blah, blah. Well, number one, I've seen how everyone else lives. And you can't take that away. Everyone makes fun of people like, oh, well, when you get back from traveling, you're going to be like this, you're going to be like that. There's one thing you can't take away. You see how the other side lives, okay? And you see the cities in Europe, and you see, and here's the biggest thing, you see people comfortable with money, comfortable with their own success, right? And I'm talking about a person working at a coffee shop, proud to just work at a coffee shop. This is something I saw in the UK. This is something I saw in France and in Amsterdam. Consistently, right? Consistently, people like not just happy but proud to work. And I'm talking about like people in their 30s and 40s, proud to be where they're at, whether they're driving the bus, whether they're on the train, whether they're driving the train. Sorry about this, I need to wear this for a while. Sorry. Whether they're driving the train, whether they're working at a coffee shop, like this, not just happy but proud, right? That's something you don't really get here. You get a lot of like the force, like if you're at a coffee shop, but they're told to do that. They'll say hello. They're told to do that. Over there, it's different. Okay, across the pond, it's different because you can feel that they actually like, no, I'm happy. I'm running this in my I'm happy. I'm making coffee for you. But in the U.S., you get a lot of like, well, you're like in your 30s. Should you really be working at a coffee? Why you feel? There's a lot of questioning. Why you fulfilled with your success? It needs to be more. That's the biggest question on everyone's mind. Why are you content with this success? Why are you content? And everything they show you on TV here is you need more, 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 more. Right? Every ad is you need more, more, more. You can be okay with your success. Be okay with your success, whatever it is. Right? So yeah, I don't know. Hope the audio is okay. I'm not fixing the audio if it's not. There haven't been any sounds. The window's closed, so it should, even if it's bad audio, I'm sure you'll be able to hear me. I'll course correct on the next video I make. What else? What else do I want to self-document for myself? I got this. Hold on. There you go. Yeah, up there. I'll show it that way. It's an Assassin's Creed. Yeah. Better view. I got an Assassin's Creed tattoo. It's okay. What else? That's it. The light's going away anyway. Yeah, I'll talk to you guys another time, whoever watched.